If you spend 6, 8, or even 10 hours a day sitting behind a desk, your office chair might be one of the most important pieces of furniture that you own. But here's the problem. Almost every office chair online claims to be ergonomic. Almost every chair claims to be comfortable. Almost every chair claims to have great lumbar support. And when you're looking at pictures online, they can all start looking pretty similar, right? But they're not all the same. Today I'm comparing 4 completely different office chairs side by side. The Deroavixe and the Stella office chair, the BestGlory office chair, and the FelixKing Ergonomic mesh office chair. And all 4 of these takes a very different approach to comfort. We've got the PU leather versus the breathable mesh. We've got traditional lumbar support versus adjustable lumbar support versus an actual inflatable lumbar system. We got chairs with footrest, we got chairs that's designed for big and tall users, and we got a chair rated for 300 pounds and a chair rated for up to 400 pounds. And we've got everything from a relatively simple executive style chair all the way to chairs designed to feel almost like you're sitting in a recliner. So here's the big question we're going to answer today in today's video. If you could only choose one of these 4 chairs to sit in for a full 8-hour workday, which chair would I choose, and which one gives you the best combination of comfort, support, adjustability, and everyday practicality? That's the question we're going to answer today. And don't skip ahead, because I'm going to break down these chairs by category. And at the very end, I'm going to tell you which chair I would personally choose, along with which chair I think makes the most sense for different types of people. Before we get started, if you're new here, I'm Jonathan. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. On this channel, I review products that people are actually considering spending their hard-earned money on, and I look at all the features, compare products against one another, point out the advantages and disadvantages, and try to help you figure out what makes the most sense for your situation before you buy. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's start with the Deroavixe chair. Of the 4 chairs we're comparing, I would describe this one as more of a straightforward executive office chair. It doesn't necessarily try to overwhelm you with 100 different features. Instead, it's designed around some of the basic things that matter in an everyday office chair, and that is lumbar support, reclining armrest, a reasonably spacious seat, easy to clean material, and the ability to tuck it underneath the desk because it's shorter. Let's start with the lumbar support. The Deroavixe has built-in ergonomic lumbar support designed around the natural curve of your spine. And lumbar support is something I would pay close attention to when you're shopping for an office chair. When you're sitting for a long period of time, you don't necessarily want a huge empty space between your lower back and the chair. The Deroavixe tries to provide support in that area without requiring you to manually inflate or adjust anything. And that's an important distinction, because later we're going to look at 2 chairs with inflatable lumbar systems. With this chair, it's more straightforward. You sit down, you lean back, and the lumbar support is already there. Now, let's talk about reclining. The Deroavixe moves from approximately 90 degrees to 115 degrees. So compared with some of the other chairs in this video, that's not an enormous recline. But that might be exactly what some people want. At 90 degrees, you got your traditional upright working position. Then you got some room to lean back toward 115 degrees when you want to relax a little. There's also a rocking function. I actually think rocking is an underrated office chair feature, because sometimes you don't want to completely recline. You just want to move. You finish an email, you lean back, you think about something, and you rock a little bit. We all like to do that, right? Then you come forward and start working again. That little bit of movement can make the chair feel less restrictive. Another feature I really like is the 90-degree flip-up armrest. If you've ever had an office chair that refuses to slide underneath your desk because the armrest hits the edge, you already understand why this completely matters. With this one, you can use the padded armrest while you're working. But when you're finished, flip them up and slide the chair further underneath the desk. For someone working in a smaller home office, bedroom, shared workspace, or anywhere floor space matters, that's exactly a pretty practical feature. Now let's look at the seat itself. The seat measures approximately 20.1 inches wide by 19.7 inches deep. So you're getting a decent amount of sitting room. The chair is covered in PU leather. That gives it more of that traditional executive office chair appearance, but there's another advantage. It's easy to wipe down when it gets dirty. Coffee gets spilled on it, you just simply wipe it down. Something gets on the seat, wipe it down. That's one advantage of PU leather over other certain fabric chairs. The chair also uses a reinforced metal base and rolling casters for 360-degree movement. Your backrest is approximately 20.5 inches high, and according to the information provided with the chair, assembly can generally be completed in under 30 minutes with the included tools. It took me about 30 minutes when I put it together. So who do I think this chair is targeting? I think it's for someone saying, I want a comfortable office chair, I want lumbar support, I want an executive look, I want to lean back occasionally, but I don't necessarily need my office chair to turn into a recliner. And keep that in mind because the next two chairs go much further in that direction. Now, chair number 2 is the Stella Mia right here. Let me move over so you can see it. This is the Stella Mia, and this is where things get considerably more feature heavy. The first major difference is the lumbar system. Instead of relying exclusively on a fixed lumbar shape, the Stella Mia has a custom lumbar support system that's inflatable. And this is one of the features that could genuinely influence which chair someone prefers. And here's why. Everybody's back is different. Your height is different, your torso length is different, the curve of your lower back is different, and the sitting position you find comfortable might be completely different from mine. With the Stella Mia, you can adjust the firmness of that lumbar area using the inflatable system, which is really cool. So instead of saying, this is the lumbar support, hopefully it fits me, you got some ability to change that. If you need more support, increase it. And if it feels top aggressive, back it off. The idea here is to fill that space between your lower back and the chair more precisely. And for someone sitting for hours at a time, I can see why that would be very, very attractive. But the Stella Mia doesn't stop with just the lumbar system. The chair reclines from approximately 90 degrees all the way back to 135 degrees. That's a much larger range than the Deroavixe. And there's a retractable footrest as well. Now we're crossing the line between a traditional office chair and something that is trying to give you a recliner-like experience during breaks. Imagine you've been working for 3 hours. You finish what you're doing, you lean the chair back, you pull out the footrest, and you put your feet up. Take 10 or 15 minutes, then retract the footrest, bring the chair back upright, and you back at your desk working. For someone who works from home all day, I could see that being a very, very attractive feature. Now, let's talk about the seat because this is another major difference. The Stella Mia uses a spring-supported cushion combined with multiple layers of high-density foam. That's different from a basic slab of foam. The goal here is to provide a more responsive cushion while helping the seat maintain its shape over time. Think about the difference between sitting on a basic padded bench and sitting on a cushioned piece of furniture that has some spring underneath it. That's the experience they're going after with the Stella Mia. It's also designed as a big and tall executive chair. The chair has a reinforced steel frame, a heavy-duty Class 4 gas lift, and a weight capacity up to 400 pounds. That's important, and I want to clarify something whenever we talk about chair capacities. A higher weight rating doesn't automatically mean everyone will find that chair more comfortable. But if you're a bigger or taller person, construction, seat width, stability, and weight capacity become much more important factors. The Stella Mia is clearly targeting that customer. And you also get height adjusted padded armrest as well, and that's another difference worth noticing. Some people want armrests that disappear completely, like the flip-up arms of the Deroavixe. Other people would rather have an adjustable armrest height. Neither is automatically better, however. It depends on how you use your desk. And then there's the appearance. The Stella Mia uses PU leather with diamond stitching. So this is definitely going for the big executive chair look. Put this behind a large desk and it looks substantial. This isn't a little task chair. It's designed to look and feel like a larger piece of furniture. So at this point, the Stella Mia has several advantages over the Deroavixe. And if your priority is features, more recline, it has a footrest, inflatable lumbar support, it has a spring supported seat, and a 400-pound capacity. But that doesn't automatically make it the winner in today's video, because there's another chair in this comparison that shares several of these ideas, and that is the BestGlory, and that's the one I'm sitting in right here. So let's talk about the BestGlory. The BestGlory is probably the closest direct competitor to the Stella Mia in the 4-chair comparison. When you look at their overall philosophy, they're very, very similar. It's a big chair, it's got a high back, it's got wide seating area. It also has a footrest, heavy duty construction, and adjustable inflatable lumbar support. So if you're trying to decide between these two, this section is especially important, starting with the lumbar support. BestGlory also uses an inflatable lumbar system. The airbag allows you to adjust the firmness depending on your body and preference. Again, the purpose is to help fill that gap between your lower back and the backrest. And I think adjustable lumbar support makes a lot of sense on a chair that's supposed to accommodate a wider variety of body types. What feels perfect for one person could feel too firm for someone else. Being able to alter that support gives you another level of personalization. Now, the seat is where BestGlory takes a slightly different approach. BestGlory describes this as sofa-like double layer cushion. We got a high resilience foam layer combined with a softer comfort layer. The goal is to distribute your weight across the wider seat and give you more of that cushion plush seating experience. So when you're comparing Stella Mia and BestGlory, pay attention to this difference. Stella Mia emphasizes a spring supported cushion with high density foam. BestGlory emphasizes a double layer sofa-like cushion. That's the kind of distinction that may matter more than some of the maybe flashy specifications. Because what's touching your body for 8 hours? Ask yourself that. That's the seat itself. You can put 20 features on an office chair, but if the seat is uncomfortable after 2 hours, you're probably not going to care about the other 19, right? BestGlory also uses a high back ergonomic design intended to provide support across more of the body. And again, we got the footrest as well. So this chair is designed to transition between a work position and a more relaxed position. For people who never recline in their office chair, that might not mean much, but if you like leaning back and putting your feet up during breaks, it becomes a major selling point. BestGlory is also rated for up to 400 pounds. It's built around a reinforced steel frame and heavy duty base along with a high strength gas lift. So just like the Stella Mia that I'm sitting in, this is positioned as a big and tall office chair. And that gives us a much more interesting situation, because if you're a larger person shopping among these 4 chairs, Stella Mia and BestGlory immediately jump toward the top of the list simply because they're specifically designed around that heavier duty use case. Another noteworthy point is the stated 5-year product coverage with responsive support. That's something I think people overlook when they're shopping for office chairs, is the warranty. People look at how thick is the seat, maybe does it recline, does it give, or does it have a footrest? Does it look good? A lot of people ask that when they consider an office chair. But remember what you're doing in this chair. You're sitting in it potentially hundreds or even thousands of hours. The wheels roll constantly, the gas cylinder moves constantly, the chair reclines, and you're putting your body weight on it every single day. So longevity and support after the purchase does matter. Now, we looked at 3 chairs, and all 3 so far are more traditional leather style office chair. The 4th chair throws that formula completely out the window, and it's this chair right here. Let me move it over so we can see it a little bit better. This is the FelixKing, and this one is different. Immediately, the biggest difference is the material. Instead of PU leather, you've got breathable mesh, and that creates a completely different seating experience. If you've ever sat in a thick leather office chair for hours, particularly in a warm room, you know what can happen. You guessed it, you get hot, your back gets warm, and depending on the material and environment, you can start feeling very, very sticky, and that's not comfortable. Mesh takes a different approach. Air can move through the chair, and for someone who gets hot easily, that might outweigh features like a footrest or a super plush seat. That's why I don't think there's one universal best office chair. It depends heavily on the person using the chair. The FelixKing provides 5 primary support areas: head, shoulders, back, hips, and hands or arms. It also incorporates adjustable lumbar support. Now, unlike Stella and BestGlory, we're not talking about the same inflatable air lumbar system. This is adjustable ergonomic support designed to adapt to different seating positions and body shapes. You also got adjustable height and tilt functions. The seat uses high density foam with a focus on maintaining its shape while still allowing breathability. So compared with BestGlory's sofa-like cushion or Stella spring-supported cushion, FelixKing is going for a more traditional ergonomic task chair experience. And this is where your personal preference becomes extremely, extremely important. Some people want to sink into an office chair. They want thick padding. They want maybe a wide seat. They want leather. They want a footrest. Other people hate that. They want something lighter, more breathable, more upright, more task-oriented, and easier to move around in. That's where FelixKing makes a whole lot of sense. The chair is rated for up to 300 pounds. That's 100 pounds less than the stated capacity of the Stella and the BestGlory. Again, that doesn't automatically make FelixKing inferior though. It simply means these chairs are targeting different types of users. FelixKing also uses silent PU casters intended to help protect your flooring, along with a 3-stage air ride and reinforced base construction. And here's another potential advantage, and that's assembly. FelixKing says this chair can be assembled in approximately 15 minutes using the included tools and instructions. That's pretty quick assembly for an office chair. It also comes with a stated 5-year service period. Now, we've gone through all 4 chairs individually. That doesn't really answer our question though, does it? Which one would I choose? Which one would Jonathan choose? To figure that out, we need to put them head to head in the categories that actually matter. So let's go ahead and go head to head in the category of comfort. That's arguably the biggest category for most people. If I were ranking these based purely on the amount of comfort-oriented hardware and cushioning being offered, Stella and BestGlory immediately stand out, these 2 chairs. They have high back, deep recline, and footrest. BestGlory gives you the double layer sofa-like cushion, inflatable lumbar support, wide seat, high back, and footrest. Those are the 2 chairs specifically designed around extended seating and relaxation. Deroavixe is more traditional. We've got the padded PU leather seat and built-in lumbar support, but without the inflatable adjustment or footrest. And then FelixKing takes the opposite route. Rather than trying to make the chair feel like a sofa, it focuses on breathability and ergonomic positioning. So here's how I'd break this category down. If you define comfort as plushness, Stella and BestGlory probably going to appeal to you the most. If you define comfort as staying cool and supported while working, FelixKings become very, very attractive. And if you want something similar and less bulky while still retaining that executive chair feel, Deroavixe makes sense. Next up is lumbar support. Deroavixe has built-in support following the natural curve of the spine. FelixKing gives you adjustable ergonomic lumbar support, and Stella and BestGlory both give you inflatable lumbar systems. And I really like the concept of adjustable firmness because lower back support isn't a one-size-fits-all feature. So far, adjustability, Stella and BestGlory have the advantage here. Between these two, the concept is very, very similar. You're essentially choosing how much lumbar pressure you want rather than accepting whatever shape the chair manufacturer permanently builds into the backrest. For someone specifically searching for adjustable lower back support, I would put these two near the top of the list. What if you're the type of person who wants to work and relax in the same chair? This category changes everything. The Deroavixe reclines approximately 90 to 115 degrees and includes a rocking function. That's plenty for taking a quick break from an upright position. Stella goes from approximately 90 to 135 degrees and gives you the retractable footrest. BestGlory also gives you a reclining oriented high back design with an integrated footrest. FelixKing gives you an adjustable tilt, but its entire design philosophy is more task chair oriented. So if you regularly want to put your feet up and lean back, I'd honestly be looking hardest at Stella and BestGlory. Now let's talk about bigger users. This one is pretty straightforward based on the specifications provided. Stella up to 400 pounds, BestGlory up to 400 pounds. Now you got FelixKing up to 300 pounds, and Deroavixe emphasizes its reinforced construction and generally sized seat. Although from the information we're comparing here, the Stella and BestGlory are the two explicitly positioned as heavy duty, big and tall chairs with a 400 pound rating. So for somebody specifically searching for a big and tall office chair, Stella and BestGlory would be the first two I'd investigate. Now this next category has an obvious winner, especially if you've been listening to the video. That's the FelixKing. It's mesh, and if you tend to get hot while sitting, breathability mesh has an inherited advantage over large areas of PU leather. Deroavixe, Stella and BestGlory all provide that executive leather style appearance. That can look fantastic, but if you want to be cool, the FelixKing is one specifically designed around airflow. So if your number one complaint with office chairs is my back gets hot, it gets sweaty, I would seriously consider FelixKing. Now here's my final verdict. Which one would I buy? That goes back to the question we made at the beginning. At the beginning of the video, I promised we're going to answer that one question. If I could only choose one of these 4 chairs to sit in for a full 8-hour workday, which one would I choose for the best overall combination of comfort, support, adjustability, and everyday practicality? And here's my answer. For the best overall feature package, I would personally lean toward, drum roll, the Stella right here for several reasons. First, I really like having adjustable lumbar support. Instead of being locked into one level of lower back support, the inflatable lumbar system gives you some control over how the chair feels. Second, we got the spring supported cushion combined with multiple layers of high density foam. If I'm buying a chair specifically because I'm going to spend hours in it, the seat is one of the first things I'm paying attention to. Third, you got the 90 to 135 degree reclining range. Fourth, you got the retractable footrest right here. And fifth, it's designed for big and tall use with a reinforced frame, class 4 gas lift, and stated weight capacity up to 400 pounds. Put everything together, and I think Stella Mia gives you one of the most complete combinations of work features and relaxation features out of all 4 chairs. But this is extremely important. I would not tell everybody watching this video to automatically buy the Stella Mia, because depending on what you need, one of the other 3 might actually make more sense. If you want something very similar to the Stella Mia, but you like the idea of wide sofa-like double layer cushion, the BestGlory is probably the one I would look at. You're still getting the inflatable lumbar system. You're still getting the big and tall 400-pound capacity. You're still getting the high back, and you're still getting the footrest, which is very important to a lot of people. But you're getting that double layer cushioning approach. So between Stella Mia and BestGlory, I think the seat design would be one of the biggest deciding factors. If you want a simple executive chair and you don't care about having a footrest or inflatable lumbar support, take a good look at the Deroavixe. I especially like the flip-up armrest. That's one of those features that doesn't sound maybe exciting until you're trying to push a chair underneath the desk and the arms keep getting in the way, which can be very aggravating. For smaller offices, that would actually make the Deroavixe the most practical chair of the 4. And then we got the FelixKing right here. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't care about a footrest, I don't want a giant leather chair, I get hot sitting at my desk, and I want something breathable and ergonomic, FelixKing may actually be the best choice for you. Now, that's why I don't think you should choose an office chair based entirely on which one has maybe the longest feature list. Think about what annoys you about your current chair. Is it too hot? Look at the FelixKing. Does the lower back need more customizable support? Look closely at the Stella Mia and BestGlory. Are you a bigger user and you want a wider, heavy-duty chair? Again, Stella Mia and BestGlory are specifically designed around that use case. Do you have limited space and need your chair to slide underneath your desk? Those flip-up arms of the Deroavixe suddenly become very, very useful. Do you like putting your feet up while watching videos, reading, talking on the phone, or taking a break? Then I'd prioritize the Stella Mia or the BestGlory chair. And that is probably the biggest takeaway from this entire comparison today. Don't buy the chair that sounds best on paper. Buy the chair whose strengths solve the problem you actually have when you sit at your desk. For me, based on these features, my overall choice would be the Stella Mia when I'm sitting in. BestGlory would be interesting for someone who prioritizes that soft like cushioning. FelixKing would be my choice for somebody prioritizing airflow and a more traditional ergonomic task chair design. And Deroavixe would be my straightforward option for somebody wanting an executive style chair with useful flip-up arms without all the extra features. So now, I want to hear from you. Out of these 4 chairs, the Deroavixe, Stella Mia, BestGlory, and FelixKing, which one would you choose? Drop it in the comments down below. I want to know. I'm very curious about what your answer would be and why it would be. Now, thank you to the brands for sending me these 4 chairs so I could do a comparison video for you today. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching to the very end. Please subscribe to the channel if you hadn't done so already, and I'll see you in the next one.